everyone, I'm here today to talk about a procedure that I recently went through to help fix a problem that I've had pretty much my whole life, and it's called auxiliary Botox. I'm probably saying that wrong, but if you are watching this video, you're probably wondering some of the same things that I was wondering before I did the procedure. So I've been through it, and I just want to talk about my experience, why I chose to do it. Someone in my family has had the procedure done as well because they have similar issues sweating as I do. Noticed that I started excessive sweating when I was in about 6th grade, and I would always sweat through my clothes, and it was really embarrassing, and it's always bothered me my whole life. And I had the opportunity to get this procedure done a few years ago when I was younger, but at that time I don't think I had the guts to sit through getting needles in my arm. So now that I'm older, I finally decided to go through and do it because I'm in college, I'm going out, I'm very into fashion, and you want to wear clothes that you want to wear, and having to worry about sweating really is a showstopper. So a couple things about the procedure itself. From what I'm not a doctor, so I just want to clear that out right there. If I say something wrong, if I label something wrong, I'm not a doctor. So, but this is just the information that's been told to me, and I'm gonna try to relay that information as best I can to you. Procedure is without any local anesthetic, so you don't get numbed up for this procedure. You go to a plastic surgeon, which is who I went to, and what they'll do is they'll have you lay down in a chair and they'll do one arm at a time. So they have to first find the sweat glands before they do the injections. In order to do that, what they do is they first put iodine on both your armpits, and then they put cornstarch after the iodine. And when you start sweating, there's a chemical reaction, and the iodine mixed with the cornstarch mixed with your sweat, it turns to a dark blue, almost black color, and that's how they find where the sweat glands are. And so once they do that, they'll draw out the area where they're going to do the injections. What was told to me is that the proper procedure is 100 units of the Botox, so which means 50 injections about per arm. I'm awful with needles, even though I have a tattoo. I think this is different. I think of it as a topical thing, and now invasive needles like shots and stuff I am horrible with. So you're hearing this from someone that's absolutely awful with needles. The procedure, it was very easy. It was definitely doable. The needle used on me was a 32 gauge needle, which means it's very thin. Like, I barely felt anything. Like I said, I mean, you feel the pinches when they go in, but if I can do it, anyone can do it. If you're told by anyone else that there's fewer injections, I had about 50 injections in each armpit, which equals to about 100 units of the Botox, which is what they inject your armpit with. If it's anything less than that, I'm not saying you're getting ripped off, but it's definitely not. You're supposed to do 50 in each arm. 100 units of the Botox is what is really required to make it last a full year. Anything less than that, it probably will not last you as long as a year. So yeah, the procedure, you're supposed to not have any sweat for 10 to 12 months. So if you have any if you have a lower dose, it probably will not last as long. So the procedure is anywhere from $1,000 to $1,400, and essentially what you're paying for is the medicine itself, which is what I was told. But yeah, overall, if you have a problem with sweat, excessive sweat like I do, this procedure is life-changing. I got it done 5 days ago, and it's not supposed to kick in for another 2 to 3 weeks, but it lasts a full year. I've been told that it is truly life-changing, and I think if you suffer from underarm sweat to the point where my clothes were getting ruined, I couldn't wear certain things, you have to constrict yourself in the movements you make out in public. If you are sick and tired of that, I highly recommend going through this procedure, because you won't have to worry about your clothes getting ruined anymore, and you get to enjoy this for a full year. So that's my take on it. I may or may not make another video again following up, because I haven't really felt the effects yet, but I know in a few weeks it's gonna kick in and it's gonna work. But overall, if you suffer from sweat, you don't have to suffer. Deodorants, powders, there's stuff out there as alternatives, but really nothing will ever make you stop sweating unless you get this procedure done, because the Botox paralyzes the sweat glands. So if you want to stop sweating for good, like, I highly recommend getting this procedure because it is extremely beneficial.